Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about the entire crypto market. Guys, things are firing up, things are getting very exciting, so sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask if you guys could hit that like button. It takes a couple seconds, and it does help the channel grow immensely, and you guys already know that I always appreciate that. So with that in mind, let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So obviously, yes, we are seeing some nice price appreciation in the altcoin market. Zilliqa is actually up a lot more. We can actually click this and see this. So it has been doing this massive parabolic run. Trade volume is still up almost 1,200%. Guys, this is exactly why I've been trying to warn you guys to pay attention to altcoins that have not really popped yet, and also pay attention to altcoins that nobody's talking about. Nobody was talking about Zilliqa. I was making videos on it, barely getting any views on Zill. All of a sudden, I made a video yesterday. Boom! It's like one of my most viewed, videos in such a short amount of time. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, pay attention to altcoins before they pop. You can make a ton of money. Those individuals jumping into Zill right now, they're going to make some money, but I do believe that this is going to top out somewhere between like 85 cents to $1 possibly. Again, this is going off of fib levels and where we could really kind of range to. Do I think that this can go much higher? 100%. I think that this could hit the $2 plus range, but it all depends on how much money is flowing in, so we have to watch this closely. But as we are talking about altcoins and as we are talking about the entire market, I have been watching a few charts. Specifically, I have been watching the altcoin market in general because I do believe that that is where a lot of the money is flowing currently. As you guys do see on the 7-day span, you can see a ton of alts popping out, doing pretty good on the 7-day span. On the total too, we have officially broken out. I will say this, we have broken out above our 200-day EMA, which was a significant level I told you guys about to really kind of break above. I'm hoping that we hold and, really kind of make this a sustainable move above this, because the last times that we, really kind of broke above this when we had this massive downward trend was similar to the summertime structure. Okay, and this took a little bit of time, similar to, the Bitcoin chart. This took roughly to actually get to a breaking point, 62 days exact. And where are we right now in terms of the structure? Going off of that second day, we can see the 62-day. We just passed it a few days ago on Friday. Again, similar structure, sort of having that same exact kind of move. Now, the difference here is where we currently are in terms of this overall market cap compared to where we were when we did try to start that massive run to the all-time highs. If we do repeat the same exact process, and I know that this is just kind of overlaying a bars graph, but this is just for visual representative, viewpoints. But here we have, that sort of run to around like $2 trillion. This will bring us to around the August timeframe, or actually not even the August timeframe, July timeframe. Now, this could go much higher. I'm not saying that, this is going to be the topping point or anything like that. And honestly, we will not follow this bars graph to the T or anything like that. We're not going to repeat the same exact move. This is just for, like I said, visualization. But I will say this, when we are talking about the topping points for the altcoin market, I do believe that we could hit, roughly almost $5 trillion in market cap. But I am looking at around this like $3.5 trillion to $4.5 trillion roughly. I think that we can go much higher. It all depends on how much money and mass adoption is flowing into, of course, the altcoin market and crypto in general. But I'm very excited and very happy, to say the least, that I do think that alts were in a massive accumulation zone. Zilliqa was in a massive accumulation point for a very long time. So, of course, this breakout is expected. But, I do think that we will target next on the altcoin market the $1.28 trillion level at the 618. That is the significant point. So, this was some sort of nice resistance level to kind of get over, and it was great to see. But for the most part, we really need a break above this 618. Similar to the 618, I will say this level is similar to this 236 level down here that we needed to break over. Now, of course, if we go off of the same, fib levels that we had back here, you guys can kind of see a similar structure being printed in terms of that 618 being around this $1.14 trillion level that we had to break out of. It's actually more so, a lot easier to compare up here when we did have this nice breakout event, which led us to the all-time high in terms of the altcoin structure. But it's still, something to really kind of look at and address when looking at, the current structure of this market right now. But I will say, when we are talking about altcoins, Zilliqa was one that I was really kind of watching and addressing yesterday and even throughout the last couple months. We do see this massive amount of volume that took place. It was the most amount of volume that we've seen since December of 2020. It was absolutely massive. Now, of course, this is in massive overbought levels, so I'm expecting a nice correction here. So, we see where it is hitting some resistance at that 382 level fib at 12 cents roughly. So I would say, watch for a retest of about like 8.5 cents roughly. Yesterday, I thought that we were going to correct a little bit earlier. I thought that like around this point was going to be our topping point with a slight wick above the 236, but we ended up smashing it. So, watch for a lot of altcoins though, because something like this, okay, I want you guys to know that things move rapidly quick in this, I don't know why I said rapidly quick, but rapidly in this market, and things quickly unfold. Crypto is a very fast-moving, volatile asset class. I think that there's a ton of money to be made in this game, especially if you are, one that is patient. I mean, overall, from the bottom structure here, off of these lows to the topping point that we just hit, this is a 280% increase in price. To get that in the stock market, you're hodling for years. So, we are very lucky, and I would say this, when I say that I'm very grateful for crypto in general, we are very lucky to be early into this game like we are. But overall, I think that this still has a ton of upside potential. Like I said, the fib outreaches here, like I've always said, this like dollar range to $1.10 range is like the perfect point to really kind of watch for in terms of Zilliqa. I think that this is the area where I will start to like really unload my bags, just because this is a massive percentage increase in price. Not only that, but like the ROI factor here is absolutely incredible as well. And the last fib outreach is up here at almost $2, which is why I said like we could see, if we see a massive FOMO event, we could see $2 being tested on Zilliqa. So pay attention to that. In terms of XRP, I have been watching XRP closely and addressing XRP's fib levels as well. This is where I do see, a lot of percentage increase in price as well for, something like this that has been accumulating, or I shouldn't say accumulating, but trading sideways for so long. Also, you have to realize that XRP hasn't had an all-time high in 4 years, but still, overall, going off of the fib levels of that all-time high and really kind of addressing where we currently are in this market, I'm still looking at some very high figure targets at around like the $10 to $15 range. So when we are looking at things like that and we're looking at Zilliqa, there's still a ton of money to be made off of these altcoins. And when I'm looking at the total too, it looks like we are about to see a massive breakout in terms of the altcoin market. And I'm very excited to watch this unfold because this is similar to the 2013-2014 structure. And it's also almost a repetition of the 2017-2018 market as well. But this is going off of these nice fib levels that Zilliqa has really kind of traded sideways within since going back to May. So these pumps are going to be nice pumps. This is a sustainable pump, to be honest with you guys as well. Like the volume in was fairly strong, but I would definitely look for a little bit of a pullback until we do see that next major breakout event. Now, XRP is coiling up. Now, when I say XRP is coiling up, XRP is so tight on this chart. Like we're waiting for this massive break above the 200-day, EMA. Because the last time that we've seen this break above the 200-day EMA when we were trading sideways was a massive run to $1.40. And similar to Zilliqa's structure, right? Like we haven't seen a break above the 200-day EMA since going back as far as like August, right? Which still led us to a nice little, sustainable move. I mean, we're talking about from these levels when we did first break out, this is a 34% move in price. And the last time that we actually really broke out of that was, a very long time ago, going as far back as like May of 2020, which led us on a massive altcoin run on Zilliqa. Even the altcoin market cap, right? The last time that we broke above this was back in the summertime. Again, led us to a massive bull run. So it looks like we are really kind of trading within that area as well. A lot of altcoins are a little bit further away, before they do officially break out. XLM is definitely one of them. XLM I'm watching very closely because once we do get over this 24-cent hurdle, it's similar to XRP breaking over this 92-cent hurdle. I'm not saying that, this is going to lead us to a massive breakout event, but if it does, we will most likely kind of trade similar to that structure back there. And I'm just going to use the bars graph for visual representation, so please do not, think that this is going to pull the exact same move. I'm just saying, when we are kind of trading sideways like this in this nice like sort of squeeze momentum area, let me actually kind of make sure that this is similar to what we are, looking at right now. So here we have like this massive break above, $1.30, if you will. This will lead us to $1.40, except I do believe that we will officially actually get that break over this next fib level at around $1.53. This will kind of push us up to test these $2 levels yet again, but I do officially think that we will break out at that point. Now, of course, I am watching XLM and even not XRP, Hbar closely, because these are also trying to get to that 200-day EMA level. I think that when we are talking about sustainability, I think that we need to watch Monday closely, because Monday could be the day that we do see a correction on Bitcoin, which will most likely bleed our alts down a little bit more. I know it kind of sucks to say, but alts are having a little bit of a joyful time right now because Bitcoin is kind of just ranging here. Looks like Bitcoin is trying to break over that 200-day EMA as we are talking, though. But the next level that we really need to address is this 45.2, almost 45.3K level. We are closing the gap in on 45K, but we really want to get back up into the structure up here above 48.6K officially. But similar to this structure, right? We are also watching that 200-day EMA, because guess what ended up happening after we broke up above that? We went on a massive run. Now, there was a lot of resistance here as well, similar to what we are looking at right now on the current chart. We see that resistance back in, even January of 2021 before we had this massive corrective state. Now, just so you guys know, this, correction from the top to the bottom of the candle wicks was roughly about a 31.56 correction. And even this one, right, when we did hit that resistance yet again, which was followed by roughly a 30.11% correction, these are significant, massive weakness at resistance levels that we do officially get broken out of and kind of just break down. But officially, this will lead to a massive breakout event, which will lead to an all-time high. And that is if we are in a bull market, which I do believe that we are. But similar to the structure, we do see that resistance level, kind of similar right now at the level that we are currently at, which is around like 45K. But we really want to break out of these resistance levels up here, which is a little bit above the 200-day EMA, which this is significant resistance going back as far as even like February of 2021. We even see this being a little bit of resistance during September, and of course during October when we officially broke out of that resistance, you do see it leading to the all-time high. So at around this range, I would say this, when we are talking about this current level, so let's actually get a few of these targets off of the chart up here, because they are old targets. I have, quickly addressed and updated this, but when we are talking about the current levels that we are currently at, with a breakout event, this is where I do get very bullish on altcoins, because when we are talking about the highest fib levels of Bitcoin, it does lead us to 200K to even 320K. But I don't think that those levels are in play. I think that the more so better levels to really kind of address and look at is between this level here at around like roughly $127,000 and $163,000. But the higher Bitcoin goes and the higher, Ethereum goes as well, think about it like this. The more and more bullish we do get on altcoins, because the higher this goes, the more money that will flow through the altcoin market. But I am watching Bitcoin Dominance because I do believe that, Bitcoin has one last parabolic run in it. I think that we are going to see a similar structure being, created on the RSI with the moving average. I think that we're going to see a nice crossing event similar to what we've seen back here in January, where we had this nice impulse on, of course, the Bitcoin dominance level. And again, bars graph just for representation, but we do see this hitting a nice high. I think that we'll most likely repeat this same process. Again, we're kind of just ranging on support, but I do believe that this will lead us to roughly 47% with a massive correction in regards to what we've seen back here during October, which led to a lot of altcoins going pretty crazy. But I do believe that this will lead us down below our current level that we are at now, except this is going to continue to bleed out to, again, those 2017, 2018 lows, and even further. I've actually said that we could even hit 30% exact, or even lead down to like the 20% level for the first time in history. So with that being said, I hope that kind of updates you guys on the altcoin market currently. I think that the alts are very, very ready to go, but also, we are watching Bitcoin to have that last, wave 5 in it, the AKA, the Bitcoin season, right? And I think that we are very close to that. I think that we are about to break out on Bitcoin, which will of course lead us to this, massive breaking point on the Bitcoin dominance chart, which will lead to around like the May timeframe, technically, depending on how long this does range on. I mean, this could range us to the end of summer. It could range us to the beginning of fall. We don't really know specifically how long this is going to take to actually get back up to these levels, but we have to watch Bitcoin closely for that next major breakout event to really kind of address that and validate, if Bitcoin is going to have a massive Bitcoin season. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all, have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.